Hello guys, today we'll be covering 30 questions and few of the questions I will not answer them. I'll give you guys few time to answer them, so you let me know that the comment section if the answer is vero or falso. The first question we have here is: la doppia striscia in figura non può essere superata ma si può circolare stando a cavallo di essa. So they are letting you know you can't cross over this continual line at the middle, but you can drive on top of it. The answer to this question is falso. You can't drive on top of striscia continua, and also you can't overtake crossing over striscia continua. Question number 2. Hope you're ready. You guys will let me know under the comment section the answer to this question right here. Secondo le norme di precedenza, nell'incrocio rappresentato in figura, il veicolo E deve attendere il transito del veicolo R. Ok, let's move to the next question. La distanza di sicurezza è commisurata anche all'aderenza dei pneumatrici. The question says the safety distance is also measured due to the grip of the tire, which is vero. Remember, the grip of the tire plays a major role when it comes to driving on the road. If it's raining, the grip of that tire will be low, the road will be slippery, and there will be water on the road. But if the road is dried, the grip of that road will be high because there is nothing on the road. There's no water, there's no oil. So the grip of that tire also plays a major role when it comes to you driving. Sono previsti sanzioni per chi può facendo uso della cintura di sicurezza nell'arterie o ostacoli di normale funzionamento. The answer to this question is vero. That will give you a fine to pay if you are not using your seatbelt correctly, and if you are not even using your seatbelt, you have money to pay. And you know, say some of una don't already get money for side, so you don't really mean. Even though you know they use your seatbelt, as long as say that money there you can pay. So drive and also have your seatbelt on. But if you don't have your seatbelt on, make sure you have money to pay. Se un autotreno intende svoltare a destra in un incrocio, occorre rinunciare a sorpassarlo, perché potrebbe impedire la vista del segnale o dei veicoli provenienti lateralmente. The answer to this question here is vero, because the question says close to a junction, if auto train wants to turn to the right direction, which means a truck, you need to stop with the overtaking. Maybe you want to overtake the truck before, you don't need to overtake because that truck might be blocking a sign, maybe the segnale di divieto di sorpasso there, and also might be blocking you from seeing clearly the road if there is another vehicle coming from the opposite direction. The answer to this question here is vero. So anytime you're driving, you see a truck that's about to turn right, you don't need to overtake. If you have the intention of overtaking, you need to wait. Wait until you can see the road clearly. You are sure there's no sign there prohibiting overtaking, and also you can see the road, you can see the vehicles coming from the opposite direction. You are sure the road is wide enough for you to overtake before you overtake. Il segnale raffigurato preannuncia una discesa e ne specifica la pendenza. The answer to this question here is falso, because the question says this sign is referring to discesa, which means you are descending from the hill, which is falso. Merely looking at the sign, you see this is salita con pendenza a 10, which means you are climbing the hill. Il passaggio a livello è caratterizzato dalla presenza di un sottopassaggio. The question is letting you know passaggio a livello is characterized by sottopassaggio. It's really funny if you come across a question like this though, because merely looking at the question, you can tell the answer to this question here is falso. Passaggio a livello does not have sottopassaggio. Sottopassaggio means underpass. Passaggio a livello is just a train track where you need to watch out. If there's train coming, you wait. If the train pass, then you can cross the road. There is no sottopassaggio. Le luci in figura si trovano lungo le linee ferroviarie come semaforo per i conducenti dei treni. The question is saying you will see these lights close to passaggio a livello, which is a train track which control the driver driving the train. The answer to this question is falso, because you will see these lights in a train track, but this light control you driving a vehicle, because you are the one to wait for the train to pass before you can pass. So the light does not control the driver of the train, rather it controls you driving the vehicle. Il segnale raffigurato precede il segnale dare precedenza. The answer to this question here is falso, because this is a sign of diritto di precedenza a destra, which means you need to give precedenza to the vehicle coming from the right side of the road, while the vehicle coming from the left need to give you precedenza. While dare precedenza is a sign that tells you to give precedenza to both sides. So there are two different things. If you come across dare precedenza, it means you need to give precedenza to the left, you need to watch out the right, make sure nothing is coming before you pass. But if you come across this sign here, it means you only need to pay attention to the vehicle coming from the right, give the precedenza and continue driving. The ones coming from the left need to give you precedenza. Passare molto vicino ad auto parcheggiata a bordo della quali si trovano ancora persone non rappresenta un grave pericolo se avvicina a bassa velocità. So the question is letting you know, if you are driving close to a parked vehicle, it's not really dangerous if you are driving on a low speed. The answer to that question is falso. You need to understand, if you are driving close to a parked vehicle, you don't need to focus on just the speed alone, because you are open to different dangers. Let's say, for example, you are driving close to a parked vehicle and someone just opened the car door unexpectedly. That is a danger. If you don't watch clearly and if you don't pay attention on that part of the road, there's high chances that there might be people crossing on the front of that vehicle. That one is another danger. So anytime you are driving close to a parked vehicle, you need to always drive with caution. La distanza minima di sicurezza, se si viaggia a 100 km/h, deve essere di circa 15 metri. The answer to this question here is false. The question says if you are driving on 100 km/h, you need to give 15 meters, which is false. So for you to be able to calculate this, you need to multiply the first two numbers by 3. In this case, we have 100 and the first two number is 10. 10 times 3 will give you 30, which means the answer is 30, 28, 27, or 29. If you have 3 numbers lower, the answer is still vero. But in this case, we have 50, which means the answer is falso. Con la patente di categoria A1 si possono condurre le macchine agricole che rientrano nel limite di sagoma di massa prevista per i motoveicoli. The answer to this question is vero, because the A1 patente is made for motor vehicle, which is for motorcycles, while the B patente is made for auto vehicle, which is like autovettura, the normal vehicle you drive. Causa probabile di incidente dovuto alla struttura della strada può essere ristrettezza della strada. The answer to this question is vero, because the question says the cause of accidents on the road can be if the road is narrow, which is vero, because if the road is narrow, that can actually cause accidents on the road, because if you are driving on a high speed and the road is narrow, it will be hard for you to actually navigate that road without creating danger on that part of the road. The next question we have here is: sulle carreggiate, sulle rampe, sulle svicole di autostrada e strade extraurbane principali, il conducente può invertire il senso di marcia, adattando tutti gli accorgimenti necessari. The answer to this question is falso, because if you are in autostrada, all the carreggiata have carreggiata unica, which means all the vehicles are going towards one direction, so you can't turn back. In autostrada, you can't turn back, you can't do retro marcia, and you can't do inversione di marcia because you are going towards just one direction. So the answer to this question here is falso. È vietato il sorpasso in prossimità dell'ospedale. The answer to this question is falso. The question says overtaking is prohibited close to hospitals, which is falso, because you can overtake close to hospital. You just only need to put it into consideration that you are not creating danger for anyone on that road. Watch clearly, make sure the road is clear before you pass. You can overtake close to ospedale. And the question says close to ospedale, overtaking is prohibited. Falso. È necessario che trascorrano alcune ore affinché un conducente che abbia assunto una quantità eccessiva di bevande alcoliche recupera l'idoneità alla guida. The answer to this question here is vero. The question said it is okay, or rather it is necessary for a driver who is drunk to park and wait for a while to recover before continue driving, which is actually vero. First, you can't drive if you are drunk. 2, you don't need to get drunk if you know you'll be driving. And 3, it's okay for you to wait. Make sure you are fit enough to drive before you drive. Il segnale raffigurato non consente di svoltare a sinistra. The question said this sign does not allow you to turn left. The answer to this question here is vero. Il segnale raffigurato indica due determinate destinazioni. The question said this sign indicates 2 directions that you can go. The answer to this question here is vero. Merely looking at the sign, you can say we have Centro and we have Milano. At the first junction, if you turn right, that road will take you to Centro. And if you go straight, that will take you to Milano. So the answer to this question is vero. If you make it to this part of this video, what you wait for? Click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also on your notification bell so that anytime I drop a video, you will get notified. Il segnale raffigurato indica corsia di destra chiusa per manutenzione stradale. The question says this sign indicates that the lane on the right side is closed because people are walking on that part of the road. The answer to this question here is falso, because this sign is telling you that there is obstacle on the left side of the road. For you to overcome that obstacle, you need to pass right. Il pannello integrativo raffigurato indica la fascia oraria di apertura delle officine di soccorso stradale. The answer to this question is falso. Okay, the question said this sign is referred to the open time for the office of pronto soccorso, which is false. Merely looking at the sign, you can see the sign is referring to working hours. If this sign is placed under another sign, it is telling you you need to obey that sign during the working hours. Let's say, for example, it's placed under divieto di sosta. It is letting you know during the working hour from 8 to 8, you can't park your vehicle there. Per diminuire l'inquinamento dell'aria, non ho bisogno accelerare e frenare spesso durante la marcia del veicolo. The answer to this question here is vero. Il segnale raffigurato fuori dal centro abitati è preceduto dal relativo segnale di preavviso. The question said, outside the living area, before you get to this sign, you see a sign of preavviso. The answer to this question here is vero, because a sign of preavviso tells you in time. And before you get to stop, there will be a sign telling you in 150 meters, you need to slow down, stop, watch the both sides to be sure before you continue. Before you get to stop, remember there will be a sign telling you 150 meter you need to stop. You first of all come across that sign, then you start slowing down, getting ready to stop. Once you come across this one, then you need to stop. Watch the both sides, be sure there's nothing coming before you continue. Il segnale raffigurato può trovarsi anche sulle autostrade. The question says, you can also find this sign in autostrade, in highway, which is vero. If you merely looking at this side, you see we have circular form, red and white color on them, and the 80 in black color. This sign is telling you the maximum speed limit you can drive, so you can find it in autostrada. So if you're driving and you come across this sign, it means you can't exceed 80 km per hour. You can only drive up to 80 km on that part of that road. I hope you like the video, and if you do, watch this video here which cover spare a symbol. Hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.